This is according to Michelle's. Come on in and enjoy the show. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of According to Michelle's. I am here today with a friend of mine. Remember, I told you I'm going to share my friends with you and their stories. I have dope friends. Remember, I said that? Dope friends. So, this is another dope friend. Her name is Nicole Bailey, and she's going to share her story, her journey of life that took her traveling, that took her experiencing the strength of her God given call to see the world from her perspective. All right, so we're going to go into the interview. Welcome, everybody. Put your hands together. Welcome, Miss Nicole Bailey.
Hello.
Hi, Nicole. Welcome. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on this space with me. I'm
Thank you
so
for having me.
excited about our conversation.
So am I. Thank you for having me.
Awesome,
I really
awesome,
appreciate the
awesome.
invite.
Definitely. So, first of all, introduce yourself to my audience.
Okay, Shelley's audience. My name is Nicole Bailey, as she said. I'm a Jamaican, currently living in Jamaica. I would describe myself as very humble and very much a kind-hearted person. I love to see others do well, and so I love to support others, which is what I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm supporting Shelley at her platform. I want to see it grow and do what it needs to do in the world. So, I'm also pretty much a person that loves personal development as well. So I love to read motivational books. I love to discover things about myself and about others as well. I also love to travel, which I mean, Shelley finds very fascinating about me. And I like to engage other cultures and foreign languages as well. My background is in foreign languages too. So that's me in a nutshell. I consider myself like a sponge right now. I'm just soaking up, the various experiences that I've had. And yeah.
So I like that idea about you absorbing all the different cultures and stuff. So tell me, what do you have other languages you speak? You just said you like to work with foreign language. What other languages do you speak?
Studied both French and Spanish.
Oh, cool, awesome. You see, I told you I got dope friends.
I also I also I also did some Japanese too. So I like to engage languages. I don't know why.
Awesome.
Since I was
Awesome.
young.
I mean, it's just how God made you, and that's awesome. I mean, I did French in high school up to fifth form, but I didn't do it in sixth.
Okay.
So we started in third, and then I fell in love with it over Spanish. So I dropped the Spanish and kept going on with the French. But it
Oh yeah.
got difficult. I think the bottom line, it demanded your attention
Mhm.
that I didn't think, because there was so much other things going on that I couldn't really give it to. And I said, I didn't want to take it and fail it. So let me just love it from a distance. But I always loved the language. I'm sorry I didn't even followed up with it. I don't remember nothing much, but if I hear it, I know it's French. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I started young. At my high school, you could do two
Mm-hmm.
until the end of high school.
Right.
So,
Always
and
do.
those were subjects that I really enjoyed. But I think I got better as an adult, um, because I got the experience to travel
Okay.
too. So
Oh, awesome.
and I learned that immersion really works for me.
Being in the
Yeah,
culture.
being in the culture, in the country. Yeah.
Awesome. So which one of these cultures do you prefer the most from your travels? You say you prefer immersing yourself. Which one of these cultures do you prefer the most from your travels?
Well, French is my favorite foreign language.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the opportunity to live in France twice,
Wow.
uh, as an English assistant. So it really helped me to develop my ability to speak it, because I mean I could read it, because in high school, the typical grammar, and you get
Right,
to read
right.
and so forth. So you have a lot of you have a lot of information. You have a lot of information, but you don't really get the opportunity to use it. So, you know, you don't develop the speaking skills and the listening skills. But when you are immersed in it and that's all you're hearing every day, then you're forced to really absorb and to learn. And so that's how I was able to improve my French. So I'm not one of those bookworms who can just study without having to go and immerse themselves. Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Okay, maybe I should have tried that approach because our books that we had situations, and then the teacher we had was very good, world renowned. She was on the Parlez-Vous. What's that international band? I forget the name that they had. So we'd go to all those different French things with her, and she would have us experience some amount of the French life. But maybe I should have maybe taken that approach, getting a chance to go to France or Quebec or
Yeah,
somewhere like that,
it,
and
it's really inevitable for you to grasp the language when you go there and
mm-hmm.
you're there for a long time. I was there for the first time 8 months, then the second time about 10 months. So it really does help. And you're just grasping the language without even knowing that you're
Right,
doing that.
right,
Yeah.
right. Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. So tell me what led to you saying, you know what? I'm going to pack my bag and we're going to France or whichever country you decided to go first.
Yeah.
What was that decision that led to you deciding, Mommy, Daddy, I'm gone? I don't think you said that to them, but
Well, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like that. But of course, in my very demure and respectful, because I respect my parents, I'm not
right.
just gonna go and say I'm gone, you know.
Uh-huh.
But it's a funny story.
It was just my drama mind. Put
Yes, it wasn't so dramatic, but it was still the same context. So I was in my early 20s. I had was 2 years out of university at the time that I decided to go. And I was 9 months in my first job.
Okay.
And I said to myself, it's my first permanent job. So in Jamaica, it's very important when you have a permanent job and you go on staff and you get your uniform that you're gonna have a steady paycheck. So I had to think long and hard about that. And I said, you know what? Since I was 12, 13 years old, this has been a dream of mine. I know how I can achieve that dream. And I know what it's going to do for me in the long run. Because I like to look into the future and making the decisions now, how it will positively impact you in the future. So I said to my parents after 9 months, I did the interview and everything that you had to do with the French embassy and was successful. And so I said to my parents, well, this has been a dream of mine since I was yay high or at this age. And it is a skill that I have and I need to develop it. What's the point of having this knowledge and you don't develop it? Because if I had stayed home, I really would not have improved my ability to speak the language. So from that perspective, I said, I have to go. Plus I was very shy too, like terribly shy. And I wanted to, get out of my shell too. So I figured I had to go somewhere else where I didn't know anyone, didn't know the language, kind of like force yourself out. And they supported me after, a little pushback, of course, because, your parents worry about you, how you're going to take care of yourself, that's not long term, what's going to happen when you come home. And I was just like, listen, this is going to do me very well and you're going to see. So I like to prove people wrong too. So I went, and that was the first country I ever went to. I lived there for 8 months. And it really was one of the best decisions that I ever made, that I did it again. So I resigned my first job, came back home to Jamaica, got that job back that I resigned from. Yes. left again, not from the same job, from another job
Okay.
after about 6 months, and decided to go back in 2009. So I just feel like having these experiences enriches your life and your character too. It builds character. It just changes you as a person. You develop. And I said before, like personal development. So I like to develop myself, and making these types of decisions helps you to do that.
Oh, so when you went to it's France you went, right?
Right.
Right. When you went, was it that you're doing like teaching them English? Because I think you said
Yes,
something
I
about
was an English assistant, right? So
English
you
assistant.
teach in
Okay,
a high school.
cool.
Well, I taught in
Awesome.
a high school. I
Mm.
teach in primary, but primary or high school. But I went to a high school.
Okay. Is that something that you would do again now, or
No, no,
you
no, no, no.
passed that season
I
now?
passed that, passed that.
Okay, okay. Awesome, awesome.
Passed
I
that
just
at that
wondering, because since
level.
you did it twice, I
Pass it
don't know
at
if your
that
mom
level.
was come
I
again.
would say pass it at that level, at like the high school,
Mm-hmm.
primary school level. Maybe I would probably go into university if I was going to
Mm-hmm.
do that overseas, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering if there was a feel that you needed to try and go back again. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said initially your parents weren't too sure about it. When you actually came back and shared whatever stories, were they excited? What was their feeling? By the second time you had to go, what was your feelings towards the second time having to go?
I think my parents are, supportive, and they believe in me, I suppose. Or they just know that if I decide that I want to do something, I'm just going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel convicted enough to, or convinced enough to pursue it. So when the second time came around, I guess it was the same. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes. And I give all my reasons, because I felt as though, again, personal development. I felt as
Mm-hmm.
though I didn't do what I needed to do on the
Mm-hmm.
last trip. So I went back to make it even a better experience for myself and to
Awesome.
gain more from it. And I actually did that too. Yeah.
So basically, you would encourage somebody who's going to take on this kind of adventure, whether it's traveling, whether it's starting a job, is to make sure they have a plan in mind or have a
Mhm.
focus in mind. It
Most
sounds that's what you
definitely.
did, like you had
Yeah.
something.
You have to be driven by something, have some kind of reason or purpose that you're gonna gain from it.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
So, okay, so you mentioned you've been to France. Any other countries you have traveled to?
yes, while I was in France, I went to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Belgium. I've been to the Bahamas, as you know. I've been to the United States, of course, and Canada. And I like to say that I've been to London, even though I just transferred from one airport to the next. I've
Listen
been
to
to
me.
London.
It's
I've
on the list.
also, I've also, I've also
Technically,
been,
I've not been to Trinidad, but I
uh,
transferred in Trinidad as a child.
yeah, yeah. So I've also been to the Dominican Republic.
Uh huh.
I've transferred. I didn't leave the airport, but I've been to Dumrep. I've been to Dumrep.
Pick up the transfer locations.
Yes, yes. So yeah.
Oh my
So that's
goodness.
about what, eight countries?
Oh
Eight.
wow, that's nice. That's good. Is there anyone you? And um I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to hurt your parents' head by asking
Yeah,
this question.
yeah.
So mom and dad, I'm not really trying to do that. It's just a curious side of me. But is there any other ones you'd want to visit in the future
Oh,
based on their
many.
culture or
There's many. I want to go
okay,
on all the continents.
okay, awesome. Because you have
So
not done Japan yet, right? You said you
I
have
was just about to say
oh,
Japan.
okay. Because you
Japan.
did say you have a little taste
A
with the language.
fascination with Japanese culture, yes. And I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends in
Mm-hmm.
Japan too. I have a close connection with Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd want to go to Seychelles. I don't know if you ever heard about Seychelles. The
That's in the
Seychelles,
Pacific Ocean.
I believe so, yes.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
it.
it's like a group of islands.
Island,
Absolutely,
right.
yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I learned about it when I was going to university, studying Francophone history, because it used to be a French territory way back in the day. And I also have a friend from Seychelles. So that's my connection to Seychelles right now. But I mean, many countries that I want to go to, more countries in Europe, definitely more countries in the Caribbean as well.
Right.
And Africa too. Rwanda is high on the list right now.
Okay. But
And
Africa
Ghana.
for me, the first one would have to be Tanzania. And that was some
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago, a church that I was going to while at college. They went there as a mission trip, but I couldn't get to go.
Yeah.
And so that part of me wanted to really go with them, but being in college, with mission trip, you have to try and get sponsors or whatever. So
I've
I
heard
just,
very good things about Tanzania. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I start from Tanzania, go down to South Africa, and come back up to Nigeria, then go up
Uh,
to Dubai.
okay, you have your plans, man. We'll see. My goal was to go to a new country each year, starting with
Hmm.
this year, because I'd never been to the Bahamas before. Can you
Okay.
imagine? The Bahamas that is so close.
Yeah, I've never been
Uh,
either. I wanted to
yeah,
try and visit there, but I've never been before either myself.
right. So hopefully I can go to a new country in 2023.
Okay. So did you do one to this year? You said you wanted to do a new.
Yeah, so I did Bahamas this
Oh, the
year.
Bahamas was the new one for this year. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, awesome. Cool. So which one was the one last year? Did you do one last year?
No, it's this year I'm starting
Oh,
that.
you started that this year.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Oh,
awesome.
what I did do one last year though. I did
Okay.
Canada. I never been to Canada before until last year.
Okay.
Last year I went to Canada for the first time too. But then
Okay.
I started last year.
So how long did you stay in Canada? Did you do like an extensive trip or?
Well, I lived there for 9 months.
Okay. Okay. So did you go to the French side or you stayed on the English side?
I was in Toronto. Toronto.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Were you able to use up any of your French experiences or no? Oh,
Not
okay.
really. I just enjoyed reading the French translation and all the products and everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that they have it as their
Yeah.
second official
Yeah, the
language.
dual language, both of them.
Right, right, right. So, as we continue to talk to my friend Nicole, guys, you see how interesting she is. I told you I have dope friends. I wanted to find out, Miss Nicole. Think back to when you were maybe 6, 7, 8, anytime. What would you have said? What would you say no to that little Nicole at 6 or 7? Um, that you have learned perhaps over the time, something encouraging to that 8-year-old, 6-year-old? What would you say to
Um,
her?
I would say things will get better. That's what I would tell for myself. Not so much at that age, because I was at that age, I was kind of happy. If I recall, nothing, you don't have any problems, you don't have any issues when you're 6 or 7 or 8. At least I don't think I had. But as an adolescent, though, things got more challenging. So I
Right.
would tell my adolescent self that
Self,
it
like the
will get better.
16-year-old self.
From the 11
Okay.
onward, things will get better. You know,
Okay.
trust the time, trust the process, and this what is happening right now is going to change for the better, and
Okay.
you're going to be better, and your experiences will be better, and the people you meet will be better too.
Awesome. Well, that's all like a word. Things
Yes,
will get better.
better, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're in the process, in the
Mm.
moment, you're like, Lord, you
Yeah,
can't see nothing beyond what's
yeah,
going
and
on.
as an adolescent too, with little life experience, you really, you're kind of like in a bubble,
Hmm.
so
But even
it just
sometimes as an
seems,
adult
yeah.
too, sometimes you
Well,
you feel
if
like you're in a bubble, so you really can't see
if you're not
beyond.
enlightened, you would feel that way as an adult.
Right, that
Yeah.
part. Awesome. What word of encouragement would you have for someone? Because you seem to be someone who truly go with your convictions. What would
Mhm.
be the word that you give to someone who's trying? Back to when I said earlier, the person maybe want to try something new, want to change jobs, want to maybe open a business, want to maybe even travel. What would be something you would share with someone out there trying to figure out their next move? What about following their gut? They may be scared. What words of encouragement would you share with that person?
My middle name is follow your gut instincts. So
Follow your what?
my middle name is follow your gut instincts.
Okay.
That's basically how I live my life, pretty much. So from my experiences, based on me and my story, what I would tell anybody is you have to have a very good understanding of yourself. You have to know yourself at the core. You have to know what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. So you know how to make better decisions, because a gut decision isn't always the right decision. I've learned that, gut decisions are informed by fear. So you really have to train your intuition and your discernment on how to make good decisions. So know yourself, know what makes you happy. Think about the pros and the cons of your decisions. That's where your head comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my head and my heart always in dialogue about decisions, but it's the heart that makes the decision at the end because it feels good. It feels like the right decision. And so I would say just know yourself. Don't follow what other people are saying. You look inside yourself and always have a purpose for your decisions. Why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
What is driving you to do it? Because you may feel like making a decision right now because of the outside influence, whether it be other people or, how society sees somebody like you or your situation, and you try to make decisions based on that. So I would say just know yourself and listen to yourself, and just at your core, make the decision that you believe is best for you. And also, as I said, look into the future as well. How is this decision going to help me in the future? So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's cool. Just have to let that breathe, marinate.
Yeah, let it marinate.
Yes.
Yeah, because
That's a lot. I mean, even to think about, you say, first of all, that if you follow your gut, sometimes it's motivated by fear, so that part resonated with me.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right. So
Awesome.
that's what I would say. Know yourself. A lot of people don't take the time to understand themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, one more. You can give us one more tip now. All right, for persons who may end up traveling by themselves, or if they're traveling with a group, what would be something you would recommend that they have in their travel bags to navigate this new culture, this new place they're going? Something that you have used that helped you immensely. You maybe have one or two things. Please share. Can you?
You're traveling by yourself or with a group?
Yeah, either or, because some things can go both ways, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my mother always tell me, make sure you're happy. And I'm sure your mother have told you too as a Jamaican, make sure you have your get vex money. Make sure make sure you don't have to rely on people.
Okay.
You have your own. So you have enough cash that you can probably, if you're staying with someone and maybe you and that person fall out, you have enough cash to go stay somewhere else.
Okay.
Or you can go somewhere else. You can, have your own
To navigate. Okay.
to yeah, especially if you're traveling with a group of people that you don't really know, because some people do that.
Okay.
And even with people that you do know, you fall out. It's humans.
Mm-hmm.
They're humans, and not everybody thinks or does the things the way you do. So you have to have that room to make a decision when you need to, like that. That's a big decision too. What else to make sure you have enough underwear. I don't know. I mean, for me, that's something that I have to have enough underwear,
Right.
because I'm someone that goes with my energy and how I feel to be. So I have to be able to change my mind I like that. You have to change your
Mm-hmm.
mind, especially when you're traveling abroad, you know, just to make something that makes you feel comfortable and being able to change my mind,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having lots of underwear, you can change your mind a bit depending on what you're gonna wear. So you feel
Exactly.
comfortable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many more I could say,
All
but
right,
those two
those two
came to
are quite
mind.
interesting. The money, I never thought about that money part, like have an extra money thing. I was thinking maybe
Yeah.
you're gonna say have. I don't know. I was thinking something totally different, but that was different.
What
That
were you
was
thinking? I
interesting.
want to know what you were thinking.
Little gadgets in your purse, you know,
Oh, I
yeah.
mean, I'm not really a gadget person. I just have my
Okay.
cell phone and earphones.
Mm-hmm.
Once I have my earphones, like how I have it in now, I'm happy.
Right. Cool.
um, yeah, yeah,
Awesome. But again, it's your story, so that's what I was saying in
yeah.
my mind. I said, what if she would have said, you know, along that side? But okay,
Mhm.
that's a good idea though about the extra underwear, because sometimes depending on where you are, you're not able to replenish that stock as fast as
Right.
you
So
can.
if I have two luggages, like a backpack and a carry-on, I have
Hmm.
some in my backpack and some
Yeah, that's definitely a
in
trick
my,
I've
my
learned, and I've learned at least make sure
carry-on.
your overnight stuff is in your carry-on.
Yeah. Mhm.
I've learned it personally, and I've heard it from myself. Especially when you know bags going to be left and
Mhm.
you have to
And who
wait for
wants to
the
be
bags.
stranded without underwear?
Just the
Yeah.
clothes on your back.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. My friend Nicole sharing a little bit about herself. I am so happy we sat down. This was really good conversation. And guess what? We may hear that next year she's gone somewhere else. We don't know what
It's
it
quite
will.
possible.
I've been looking up for the pictures and the vlogs that follows.
Oh, yeah.
She has a
Yeah.
vlog out, ladies and gentlemen. I put the link in the description of her trip to Bahamas. It was really interesting, and she made me itch a little to travel because I wanted to go to Bahamas, but I said I'd do a cruise, so I
Mm.
tie in a little bit. But I made us fly straight, right? That's how she
Yeah.
shared her journey. So I
And
put the
I
link
share
for
that
that
on
video. Mhm.
on a friend's blog.
Right. So,
Because
but I put the link so that persons can
yeah.
see your trip to the Bahamas and your perspective on the island. So,
And
thank
they
you
can look
so
out for
much.
part two.
Go ahead.
They can look out for part two.
Oh, sure, definitely, we
Part two.
will. We will be looking out. So, thank you so much, Nicole, for coming by my station, my show today, my channel. Guys, thank you so much for rocking with us. This is According to Michelle's. My name is Michelle's, and I will see you at the next time for the next episode.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.